Dr. Gita, you are part of this conference, and what do you think is the takeaway from this conference?
I think the major takeaway is that the Chinese really need to think about Tibet seriously. Tibet issue is not going to die just because there is economic development in Tibet or there is some kind of prosperity of the Tibetans' life. There is a concrete issue of identity, and Tibetans resolve that autonomy is the only way out. I think that needs to be underlined.
And Doctor, as far as you are concerned, what significance do you think this conference actually holds?
I think it's very timely because there are issues between India and China as well. Like we saw last year, Doklam became a very critical issue. But there are issues of certain territorial things. The borders need to be resolved, and it's not just the India. I think China also needs to be a little more concerned about how these borders need to be resolved. At that point of time, Tibet is one of the very crucial, issue that needs to be addressed. You cannot resolve borders by just, thinking about how the Chinese government in Beijing thinks or what the Indian government in Delhi thinks, because the people who are settled at their borders are very significant. I think the takeaway out here is that you really need to see how that border community thinks about, as we were talking about Ladakh, we were talking about Arunachal Pradesh. So how the people out there who are settled think about borders and how that needs to be addressed while you are resolving the issues.
My primary interest actually is on working on issues on global South-South solidarity. So this is something that is close to my heart. Also because I have sort of a family connection to it because my grandfather, Mr. Satya Prakash Malviya, was the vice president of the Indo-Tibetan Friendship Society, and it was a cause that he was involved with for very long. So, I have grown up around events like these. And that was one of the reasons that I came here, because I really wanted to um, see how there are so many geopolitical developments going on, and it's I wanted to see how the Tibetan people are viewing these events and these contemporary developments, and what are their positions in dealing with them. I really feel that, especially when it comes to the India-China relationship, the other issues have overshadowed the Tibetan issue. Whereas we must remember that historically, I mean, this is sort of the cornerstone of how the India-China relationship has developed in a certain way. And I think the panelists here did an excellent job of putting it in context. So why the Tibetan issue is still central to a lot of the issues within the India-China relationship. And also, I always enjoy, conferences or spaces where I can hear the voices of the people who are actually impacted by the issues, because otherwise it's very in most spaces you see that there are people who are speaking on their behalf but not really the people who are impacted by the issues, but here I thought the perspective of the Tibetan people, the demands of the Tibetan people were really brought out very well.
Marengo dele chagwe di kimse khaisina susu phaba shenge jimbe chane anda ta chik tunje pemitik zugi nepabre ani ta laptön tu aranse phebege tapchog nalo shenge zungoni gen karkugu yume ra shenge zungone susu da genti di khani bodi shembina delpabe dela tonang chegoya da lobjun chegoya di nye ta keshibo shujila muzin chigiyu tena songza 드링 단다 디 칼로 우멜람기 토올라 차뎁 텐데지마 문제는 그 유두 디 야날 달린 세우치 카르탄 걸나 페나롤 우멜람기 시주든서 코토페 쪽 메바타 슈게는 줄라직 담다는 그 유네 아주 전주 나로 라와 유두 페미 슈게 중원에 믹세지 칼로르다 게 칼로르 겐큐고야디 nen가지라 따직 공외진베 토네 엔트린 제자인을 슈 디 nen가 가르쳐고 슈빈다 드링 비나 주시 때변에 디 차되고 왔다 먼저 위법 수주로 슬러도 왔다 먼저 베베 타냐 나로 파투스라 침빈다 인지시 베주 체비나 먼저 지오폴리틱스 러다 다디 조디 칼렌다 다지 개급 얘기 발하기 지칼로 네법디 하이 컨데스 얘기 유메디 조디 갸가당 야나 차되기 요래 디 나로 베베네 튼데 계셔 뭐 가세스 차위 요지 그러와 소수직 첩시 롭 첩시 세니기 롭주지 임베 차는 니 가르 동아 치고 슈빈으로 근데 갸가 슝기 더 갸나기 Kusin solar produne teleshe de gora tango injinaron si baju chebna appeasement policy ra mi mawuji gi tinzul chi kyunga me du sambala ni kya shungi kanala kanji kalon tele shego kimse kharin nas ta ne the mangbu yora ta nzu te shu mo chera ndi ki la nzu peben ne tin de ga shun keshin bo kase chagi yor 라 디 슝게 나로 고도 빼고 찍치 단지 야 슝게 이네 먼저 배벌수 단지 칼로레 야 슝게 네트 말린 베네 가란주 지 칼로 텔레요라 아니 지 칼로 흘러 대대줘라 대리 많이 받지 야나 야 슝게 이네 슝니 베네 안수건 단리스타 월선 것도 이치네 딘데 소고디 항상기 개천 보통 것도 대 소서 대 대리 인주스 몰라 야가 망부지기 텔라 개체가 되는 시대고래 사고버 유 사고버 규베토네 야라 페나다 지 칼네 유메나 수용원 개체가 대대고래 그런 소인 베네 개체가 ni pool something resam gut listening it keshibu moizing yula.
The program was very nice and the book was very informative, and it will reach to the Tibetan supporters and sympathizers. It will be a great asset for them to have spread some ideas about Tibet.
Okay, sir. What's the significance that you see about this plenary discussion and also about the launch of this report, which talks about the Tibet being never part of China, but Middle Way also remains like a viable solution?
Yes, I saw this a very good opportunity to make people aware that Tibet was never a part of China, and Tibet was very independent state, and to apprise the Indian people and Indian government also to have their own policy, not only for the Tibet but whole Himalayan region, so that we can formulate and bring peace in the South Asia. Because without Tibet, there cannot be any stability and security for the India. And since His Holiness Dalai Lama is a big asset presently, and he is preaching for the non-violence and compassion. In this way, the middle path is one of the best way we can see that they can bring India, China, and Tibet in a very comfortable position without feeling any embarrassment to any party. So middle way approach is, for presently, it is very correct way, and we can go ahead for, and it will be the interest of all the parties, including Tibet and India and China.